Hi, my name is Lexi Esterly, and I wrote the paper Imposter Syndrome in the Workplace. The way that I picked this topic was originally I started with a piece of paper and made just kind of a mind map. I put research topic in the center and put in branches a bunch of topics that I was interested in pursuing. Imposter syndrome specifically had come up in a conversation between me and a professional in my field. He mentioned that he knew several people who were experiencing imposter syndrome, and that led me to look into the term, and it was just something that had caught my eye that I was interested in. So I started looking into different topics and kind of eliminating them. It was really important to me that I picked a topic that I was interested in and that I would be willing to read dozens of papers and articles about, because that's definitely a part of the research process. And eventually I settled on imposter syndrome because I found it incredibly intriguing, and also because as I read more information, I found that there was kind of a gap. And that was probably the biggest step in my research process. I gathered as much information as I possibly could about the topic just to familiarize myself with the field, what was known about it, try to understand it. And the more research I did, I was looking specifically for how to address it and what people do to fix it. And I found that there really wasn't a way, but at the same time it was hurting individuals and it was hurting corporations. And so I thought that was an issue that there hadn't really been any research addressing yet. And there were some implications that there could be workplace structures that had an influence, but it didn't talk about what workplace structures were. And as I've continued to figure out more just gaps in information that hadn't been found yet, that led me to narrow my topic, and just kind of my research process fell into place with that. Outside of my research process, there were a couple obstacles, specifically with gaining sources, but really the staff and faculty at Ball State helped me with that immensely. I was looking for a human source, and I was actually able to find some graduate students who had done workshops on imposter syndrome in graduate students at Ball State, and they were kind enough to talk to me and had a lot of really amazing things to say on the topic because of their education and because of their experience. I also wanted to develop a motion graphic to kind of just show the distinction between workplace structures, and I wasn't familiar with the software to do that, so talking to some staff and faculty really helped me overcome that obstacle in my research process. Ball State has such a rich community of people that are willing to help you with anything that you need, and so it's a great thing to take advantage of when you have any obstacles when you're trying to do a research project such as this. Really, I think assignments, courses, and teachers who let you do projects like this are an amazing opportunity because it lets you experience and explore things that you have interest in, but that you might not ever be able to given your major or discipline. So if you're planning on doing research, definitely pick something that interests you, that you're willing to read a lot about, and that you just genuinely are curious about, and it'll take you far.